Previously on Dances with Dice, when last we left our heroes, Finian, the halfling artificer, Felix, the human bard, and Theo, the satyr fighter. Our heroes had just concluded the combat upon the ship and had some time to themselves. Now, with their final month of downtime ahead of them before arriving at the Royal Aftermeria Mines, what new mysteries await our heroes this week on Dances with Dice? So, as we return, you guys have just put all the dragon eggs away. You guys have made that final bend in the river as the boat continues down towards the Royal Aftermeria Mines, and the spine of the Dragon Lord slowly, because it takes about an hour or so to kind of like fully come around the bend and head down the river. It takes about an hour or so for the mountains to slowly fade into the mists behind you. And Theo, you can even feel like because you can still feel sort of like that a little bit of like vibratory energy coming off of the stones. Once out of sight of the mountain, the stones sort of calm, and you can feel that energy sort of fade from the crate on your back.
Cool, cool, cool. No doubt. I'm Cockney, I'm uncultured.
Gotta get back in character.
Yeah, I've got to get the accent.
What about second breakfast? There we go, perfect.
Morgan's just like, I use my voice, but even more, but like, just slightly more sarcastic.
Just sultrier. Okay. Finn and Felix, both of you, I'll say just for the moment, as like you guys were rounding the bend, you kind of just share a look at the sight or the sound of the shadow passing overhead. I'll let you guys handle that however you want a little later.
We didn't handle that before.
Nope, it just happened, and then that's where we ended. That's where it ended.
I didn't see it. I was too busy.
Yes,
Weird
you were very confused about the rocks. It's like, why is that bird so scaly?
I miss my
high big
perception.
Bird.
It's like, I didn't know we had dinosaurs in this world.
I'm so strong. I'm so strong.
Can't relate.
Right.
I'm proficient in everything.
It's like, Bard, baby, I scaled a late game. Please don't kill me before level 6.
Jack of all trades, motherfucker.
I have a +6 to athletics.
You run through the door real good.
I'm very strong. I got biceps this time.
You do have biceps this time.
I've got a +8 to persuasion. Can I persuade you to shut the fuck up?
When has that ever worked, Morgan?
Never in my life.
So the rest of the day passes without incident. The evening arrives. The captain of the ship sort of just gives you guys a nod as he heads to his quarters for the evening. It has been a long couple of days, and as he had mentioned earlier, the weird, not unlike on a full moon, weird stuff always happens around the spine of the Dragon Lord, so he always turns in for rest early. What about the rest of you? Is there anything else you'd like to do this evening? Any things you want to talk about or discuss? Otherwise, we'll just continue on with our journey.
I did not leave a fun little notes for Hannah for future session, unfortunately. So I think Theo at this time is probably focused on making sure the knot eggs are in a safe location, she's just gonna be doing that for the evening, like making sure like this time when they are very safe wherever they are. And they are very,
Okay.
very close to her when she sleeps.
Okay. You're able to like basically kind of turn the box into like a little bit of like a pseudo pillow, and like so like you're laying on top of it at all times.
This is fine. I'm a soldier. I've laid on more uncomfortable things than this box filled with not eggs.
Felix and Finian, what about the rest? What about you two?
I don't have anything specific.
I was told to pretend that dragons don't exist and not think about such things. So I'm gonna pretend I didn't see what I saw and work on GB2.
And you're definitely not gonna tell the dragon obsessed lady.
So I love it. Felix is over here like, I am remaining ignorant and choosing to do so, and they're happy about it. And Finn's over here just like the main character in 1984. The first thing we were told is to ignore our eyes, then our ears, then our hearts. As he's like just repeating this over and over as you tighten a screw on GB. It's like, I hear no evil, I see no evil, I speak no evil, I hear no evil, I see no evil, I speak no evil.
I just do the thing.
He's crying.
It's like, college never prepared me for this.
I love
This is
I do love the imagery of like the idea that Felix and Finian saw that and then looked at each other, and Theo's back is just to it, so she doesn't and they like make the silent communication that they're just not gonna say anything to her about it.
I feel like Finian like points at the sky. I feel like Finian points at the sky and Felix is like just like
shut, you don't say shit. Like
like a slashing sign at their neck.
It's like, don't you dare tell her. Don't you dare tell her what you just saw.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Morgan, you stepped away for a second. We were saying like there had to have been a moment where like Felix and Finian see the thing, they share the look. Finian like points at the sky with like a cocked eyebrow, and then Felix is just like, no, like just like waving their hands like, no, we're not talking about this, we're not talking about this,
and we're definitely not telling that one who missed it.
Absolutely.
And so it was a great 1984 comparison. Like Felix is disassociating and loving it. Finian is disassociating and is in a George Orwell novel.
It's the nihilism versus whatever the fuck, where it's like everything is pointless. Everything is pointless. Everything.
It's the bus meme.
everything is pointless.
So, the evening passes without incident. You all awake the next day, and the journey continues without really any issues. I'll say you guys are gonna have roughly, because it's the remainder of the journey, the rest of the month's journey completes without issue, so this would actually constitute downtime for 30 days. So
They
if
got books
you
on board?
they might have
You
books
got
on
games
board.
on your phone?
You got games on your phone?
They do have a variety of like books. They have
Do they have
like
any language books?
They have cards and things like that.
Idiot's Guide to Draconic.
You can, if you have 1 month.
No, I'm just saying, like, can you imagine?
Yes.
Roll me a d6, Theo.
5.
Okay. They have language books. They have Elvish 101. They have Dwarvish for secondhand speakers. And as you are digging through the books, you find a very dusty, very, very old. You pick up the book and then you realize how old it is. The title of the book is Communicating with Our Scaled Overlords. How to Speak Draconic.
I already speak Elvish and Draconic.
So you can want to learn Dwarvish?
So I'm learning Dwarven.
Okay.
Communicating.
Part of me was like celestial.
That's
Or
you're gonna-
primordial, since that's Zach's personal
You're,
favorite
you're
language.
gonna have to go to a library for that. No, no.
I do kind of want to still peek at one because I want to learn old draconic swear words. I do kind of. I peek at that one because I do think that's fun.
You flip through the book and you're like, actually very disappointed when you read it because it's just a treatise on. It should have been just named "How to Not Get Killed by a Dragon," because it's just a treatise on like. It's like if you run into a blue dragon. Don't do this. Do this, you might not die. If you run into a green dragon, you will die. If you run into a red dragon, say this, and you might not die.
I'm headcanoning that because it's so old, some of the language is definitely outdated, and maybe some of the grammar is wrong.
It's very much like
I
reading.
thought you were going down the line of like, this is a racial slur now. Like, this was the commonplace word before, but now you would never say this to a person.
It's very much like reading
Lots
through.
of racial slurs for dragonborns.
It's a. Well, actually, I guess here's the point to talk about. At least currently in this world, because dragons, were conquerors more than they were. They were first protectors and then conquerors and then enemies. There are no dragonborn in this world because they never that connection never occurred.
Oh.
But it is like reading a history textbook from 1955 where it's like, huh, oh no, we disproved that. Oh, we disproved that. You're not allowed to use that word anymore.
That's not that's not allowed.
It's the work story that I told you guys in the other chat.
Yeah.
All right. So for Theo, you are going to be studying Dwarvish.
This month. Yes.
For this month. For Finian and Felix. You guys have 30 days of downtime. Is there anything you'd like to do? Finian, for you, I'll say I will allow you, because if you want to try to, because I mean, obviously GB is going to get stronger as you level up. That's the actual intended mechanic. But I assume you probably want to try and tinker things and maybe do stuff with him because, well, I know you as a person and as a player. So what I am going to do is give you the option for any downtime that you have. If there's like an addition or an upgrade you want to try to make to GB, or like I mean, say like I want to replace his eyes with like LED headlights instead, or like something like that, like just something silly.
Be that asshole on the freeway.
I will allow you to use downtime for that as well. Do be aware. Any like I'd like to add a weapon, or like I want to improve his like bite attack or something like that, that comes mechanically through your own stats. So outside of something really story important, or like something like
I see what you're saying.
Anything,
anything that actually really impacts the game is just going to be because it actually happens within the rules. Anything that's almost kind of just like
you want to do some aesthetics. You want to change, like it can be aesthetics in the senses like I replace his like normal iron claws with titanium or something like that. It's like all of that's totally fine. Like, but it's like that is a separate option for your downtime. Is basically the thing outside of the normal things.
You just gotta say you just gotta be like, look, you can't pay to win, but you can pay for aesthetics. Like,
yes. Like,
you can buy them skins.
You can listen. You cannot buy you can't buy the 2.5x damage boost. That's not in the store. You can buy the pay to win GB skin that has clearer iron sights, so your shots are more accurate. That's the pay to win we're allowed to do in this game. Finian, Felix, as with Finian, as he has some special things he can do with GB. You will be able to also, if you want to do performance checks to write music or things like that, because that fits into the flavor of your class, or you have any other things you want to do. Learn new weapons, armor, languages, anything like that.
Can I do another book check
Sure,
to see if
investigation.
Hannah missed something?
What's up, Hannah?
No, you guys keep going. I'll say it afterwards.
They're rolling, so ask your question.
Oh, so are we doing rule of cool that we can learn weapon and armor proficiencies? Because according to like the source books, it's like you can use downtime to learn a tool proficiency or a language. Are we rule of cooling that armor and weapons are also on the table?
They are on the table. They do take twice as long. It is 2 months
Okay,
to learn that
valid.
because it is that's an actual physical skill. So you would have to spend 2 months on it. You would have to spend 2 months of downtime to be able to do a weapon or an armor piece.
Valid. Noted.
And
Thank you.
I will also scale it as such to where it's like, say you can wear light armor, you have to scale upwards. So like, say you want to eventually wear heavy armor, but you can only wear light. You have to go light, learn medium, and then learn medium to heavy.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
No problem. All right.
I got a 19.
19. Okay, you go rummaging through the pile of books and things like that, and there's like a couple of science textbooks and things like that. You are able to come upon Elvish for non-elves.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay. So Felix will be learning Elvish. Theo will be learning Dwarvish. And Finian, you actually never said what you wanted to do. Did you want to learn a language, work on GB? What were you going to do?
I don't know if this is something I can do, but
Ask away.
Is it possible to attempt to like modify GB's like armor?
How so?
I don't know, like increase it at some point. If I could even just start working on that now, like nothing would happen. But like if I could, because like he cares about him, so he's like, I don't want you to constantly like I don't want to see you die again. So like that would be something he might try to increase. Would be like GB's toughness, or like how like maybe somehow find new, like if he finds new alloys or things like that, like this could be something he works towards, like it, so he could be researching that or researching better ways to heat steel or make armor for him or something like that. Like this would be something I'd like to like start working on now, like in his free time, if that's something that he can do.
Okay, no, I'm just checking something because I wanted to see if the steel defender gets stronger at higher levels.
I don't think it
does. So AC is a level thing. You get that at level 15. The steel defender gets like 3 buffs. So I will say that because that is technically a mechanic, so you would not be able to make modifications to the armor to improve it, because that will naturally come on its own. However, what I will say is, if you're like looking to, you can fully like a car, like a car is made of panels. GB is also probably made of like smaller segmenting panels and things like that. I will allow you to, if you want to, just roll me a single tinkering check, and you can like change the aesthetics of that, make like the make certain plates thicker, things like that. It won't have any like huge effect, but it will be. It won't have a armor effect because of the thing you'll get at level 15. But you can make those aesthetic changes. That is falling into our more aesthetic.
I'm going to try to make GB more aesthetically friendly. So I'm going to try to cover him in like some form of like suede, and then like maybe some form of fur on top of that. Like
Okay, you're gonna try to make him a real dog.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Morgan.
You said plates on a car. Have you guys seen the Tesla truck?
Oh God, it's so awful.
Then is it changed?
It's so bad.
Some like Silicon Valley douchebag rolled up to a car show with his like early access model, and everyone that was there apparently was looking at it in person and was like, oh, this bad. Like, one, it's just bad to look at, but I guess like in person it's even more obvious that like things don't line up correctly, and like it just doesn't look good.
Panels have been off by up to 5 inches, which in car world is basically the Grand Canyon. Like, it's so bad.
And it's like inconsistently off. It's not like the gaps are like the same spacing. It's like at one spot they're like a millimeter, and then it's like huge gaps elsewhere. It's like,
it's so funny.
It's so weird that
this is why you don't let tech people run car companies, because they run it like a tech company. And it's like you can't ship broken vehicles. You can only ship broken software because people die. You
And it's
stupid
almost
idiot.
like cars crumple for a reason, and that's really
yeah.
important for them to crumple.
You know, an entire rigid body to a car. Also, no passenger airbag.
Oh god, I hadn't heard that.
Also, don't know where they stuck the driver airbag because he did the stupid little like 2-stick control-y thing to control the Cybertruck, not a wheel. So it's like, Elon, where's the airbag? Where's the airbag, Elon?
It feels like somebody told him that, like, oh, when your airbag goes off, it's really common for it to break your wrists. And he's like, oh, we can't have that happening. And it's like, yeah, buddy, it's either you break your wrist or you get such bad whiplash that it kills you. Like, I'll take the broken wrists, please.
This is very much the photo of the B-29, the survivorship bias, famous World War II photo. It's like, oh shit, all the B-29s that made it back have a bunch of holes in their wings and tails. Better reinforce those. It's like, no, idiots. No. That's not how that works.
The ones that got shot elsewhere didn't make it back.
So guys, where were they shot? Those were the ones that made it back. Where the rest of them? Oh, are they in the English Channel? Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, Germany got them. You're stupid.
Anyway, back to the plot.
So, back
No,
to-
no.
Felix. Because again, I'm assuming you're not trying to make this thing into a monstrosity. Like
Wrong
you, like,
name.
Yeah.
I'm Felix. Finian.
Finn. Yeah, no.
Finn. You're not trying to make it into monstrosity.
No, I'm trying to make it look more like a real wolf.
Okay. I'll say let's start small because each of these things are pretty individualized. So, and you're on a ship, you have limited materials. So I'll say you begin work on the face because it's a fairly large thing. So you begin kind of work on like a
No, that's gonna look real weird if like just its face is fuzzy. We're gonna work up kind of like the way like the muscular like when you see like anatomical pictures, how you got like the muscles and then you got the skin, but it doesn't need muscles because it's gonna but it already had like that's kind of shaped into the plates. So it just needs so maybe I just work on giving it that like skin look with some suede or something like that, and then I add more detail as we go. But it's gonna look real weird if it's just got a fuzzy, furry, realistic looking face.
This is some Five
and
Nights
then the
at
rest of it's
Freddy's
just all metal.
horror shit.
it's Five Nights at Freddy's but without the body hoarder.
Yeah.
The movie wasn't too bad. I'm
Oh.
just now realizing I
He's not
muted
gonna
myself.
climb inside it.
So none
I
of my
will
fun
stop
little
him from doing
anecdotes made it through.
Nope.
Finn.
I actually saw the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. It wasn't too bad.
You're unable to find any suede, but you're able to find a very soft, supple leather that the crew is willing to
Supple.
part with. So it's kind of like a thin, you know,
Okay, that
how
works.
the thin,
Why
pleathery
would
type
you
of leather.
describe it as supple?
Yeah.
I mean, it is a word for leather, but it's I don't like it.
Supple
I don't
leather means it's moisturized and flexible. You are cosplayers. You like it when your leather is supple.
People say that about
see,
titties, though.
Yeah.
for some reason.
Ample, supple bosom.
And bosoms are ample and supple. I'm sorry.
I hate those words.
The leather is very similar to like if you do like that, like the very thin fake pleather that like most people craft with. It is that like sort of like thinness and flexibility, but actual leather.
Gotcha.
Please roll me a tinker's check. So this will be D20 plus intelligence and proficiency.
Okay.
Actually, wait, unless you got expertise, which I don't think you have yet.
And what would it be in?
In tinkering, it would be under features and traits, I think.
Okay.
Or it would be okay. No, you are proficient in Tinker's Tool, so yeah, it's proficiency
Yeah.
bonus plus int and a d20.
Okay.
You are not yet a master of them.
Wish I could just roll it. Just couldn't roll it. Roll intelligence. All right, so that's a 15 plus proficiency, so 17.
17. Okay, It takes a moment. You definitely wreck maybe like you get like actually here's a like all cosplayers. you start out with the utmost confidence in knowing exactly what you're doing, having done this for the first time in your entire life. And you get like kind of like the lower legs done, and about halfway up the legs, you kind of realize like, oh wait, there's a way better way to do this. I can start by getting the leather in between each of the plates so it hangs more naturally, and then I have less tie downs I have to do, and I can sew panels together, and that'll work entirely.
So it
it's now just
progressively gets better as I do it,
Yeah.
which makes it look very uneven, and I'm gonna have
Oh,
to
it
go
is-
back and fix that later.
So basically what happens is you make this discovery, and it's like, oh fuck yeah, and you get into a total like, this is over days because this is happening over
Yeah.
the downtime. So like it's like day 15, you're done with like the lower legs, and everyone looks at it, it's like, oh, that's looking good, like, and like even you can realize, there's some like rough patches here, things like that, but like it doesn't look like a monstrosity, which is the main concern when you're putting like skin over metal. And then on day 15 is where you realize like, oh, okay, no, but if I like use the plates to my advantage and do this, and this, and then like by day 20, and it's like you're like almost done, and like you get to the head, and it's like, all right, cool, like everything's looking good, everything's working. Then like you step back and do like the look at your whole work, and it's like, oh god, there is a massive seam and uneven line running from where the old work started and your like new technique, and like it's super, and you have to now tear out and spend the next 10 days like tearing out, reseating,
It's so true.
restitching.
This is
But-
physically hurting me.
This is where you go to escape and live in a fantasy world.
I spent the entire day yesterday sewing pleather. This is my
Mm.
fucking nightmare.
By the end of it, Finn, you have it's a little weird looking. We're not going to pretend it's not a little weird
Yeah.
looking, but it fits properly. It is like the leather is tight to the metal, so like it's
a brown or tan, looking wolf instead of a chrome one.
It's like it looks a little like if you made GB out of deflated footballs. American footballs, not soccer balls.
That's so sad.
Like it's clearly a work in progress, but like it works. His tail wags, and he's got full range of movement. So you've got kind of like you'll have a little skinwalker dog for a bit until you can find some fur.
Doesn't he look great, guys? Everyone's like, yeah.
And it's still just sitting there happy as can be. Woof.
He like gags a little bit, like it's just that much like accidental body horror.
Exactly. Like it's like looking at a really in-depth taxidermy job, but it's like beautifully done. Like it's like you have to respect the artistry, but it's like, oh my god, why?
Oh, this makes me happy.
Honestly, excellent use of downtime, right there. Felix and Theo, the downtime passes. You guys study your languages. Please add your new languages to your proficiencies.
Realistically, how proficient are we? Like mechanically, I know it's like you can reasonably communicate in the language, but just I'm trying to think of like a month's worth of language. Is that even conversational at that point?
But here's the thing. This is the joy of you being on a boat. There's elves on this boat. There's dwarves on this boat. You have practice partners. So I will say, like, again, you can play it however you want. Like mechanically after 30 days, you are conversationally like fluent. Like if you see writing, you can read it. If someone speaks to you, you can technically speak it. I treat it more like you've just done like 4 years of a language class in college. Like you've got all the information in your head, and then it's like, guten Tag, guten Morgen, wie geht's? And like it's the actual moment of just like, hello, my name is Felix. I am a bard.
I can speak Elvish, but it's inexplicably with like an Underdark accent, like an accent from a language I also don't speak.
You speak because since you learned Elvish, it was Elvish for non-elves, which means it was written by an elf. You speak incredibly formal, like government level
Government issued elf.
like government issued documentation Elvish, like super grammatical. You don't know what the contractions are. You can't say can't. Like you
I'm fully like referring people in like the most formal version of like the
Yeah.
pronouns. So I'm basically saying like my lord to everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Theo, who speaks Elvish, does not correct him because she's like, I just want him to call me milady at some point.
Theo's out here. It's just like, it has been 3 months. I finally have something on him.
Something.
Theo's just like, yes.
Yes.
But yeah, so
I think it's funny.
you now speak incredibly formal Elvish, and none of your talking partners, especially Theo, has corrected you
She's like, yep.
because they also find it funny.
She's like, yep, that's right.
For you, Theo, the Dwarvish book you realize is partially a language book, but mainly a book of dirty jokes. So you can again, same with Felix, like you can speak it, you can read it, but you're navigating through most of your conversations through toilet humor.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, you know what? That is guys, that's a month of downtime well spent. We've got a skinwalker dog, Legolas's dad from The Hobbit, and
I hate to go there again, but I think we're not supposed to use that word.
Wait, what word?
Skinwalker?
The word skinwalker. Because I'm fairly certain it's part of that culture that you wouldn't actually say that. I can't remember if I'm conflating this with something else, but there was another like Native American folklore
thinking
thing.
Navajo.
I believe you're thinking of spirit animal.
No,
No.
that's one of them, but
Skinwalker is like a part of Navajo culture.
like part of the culture is that you would never actually say skinwalk. Like it's one of those things like saying it manifests it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was considered like a faux pas to just casually be joking around the name.
We've got Five Nights at Freddy's dog.
All right, we'll just do
There we
that.
go.
Yeah. Five Nights at We've got Five Nights at Freddy's in dog form, and won't try to kill you. Well, won't try to kill.
Bork.
That's the Swedish Chef.
Oh fuck yeah, it is.
It's like that's we're definitely getting sued over the Muppets. Disney owns them.
Ruff. Barky, barky, ruff, ruff, bark, 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 ruff, 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 bow, wow.
Woof. Suddenly starts speaking an Australian accent. Oh, I'm Bluey.
No, see, when I imagine how GB like does the barking noises, if you've ever seen American Tail, Feifel Goes West, is when tigers in the fucking cave or in the mine doing like making bark noises and like makes a song out of it. And yes, that is, if you're ever wondering, that's exactly how it sounds.
See, I was going Dog of Wisdom in my head.
I'm sure that MP3 file's in there somewhere. You know,
That was how it
again,
started.
Because
This
again,
is where we're at.
GB is like, because at least in my head canon, the way GB barks is like, it's not like a normal dog where it's like like the mouth open and closes, you hear the snap. It's just the jaw unhinges and then a sound appears. And then it
MP3 file plays.
Yeah, it's just opens mp3.exe close. It is a robot and it's version 2. You haven't gotten natural movement down yet. That will be version 4. It's got to break a couple more times. But a month passes that incident. You guys are now newly well versed in all of your fresh skills, and everything like that. The boat, the final day of your journey arrives, and you guys can now see, because as you've been kind of heading down this waterway, in the distance you can see sort of the other edge of the mountains, bits of the Godswood off to the northeast, that sort of like trickle down into the Royal Aftermeria Mines, and you can see spread out before you the wide chasms and deep mine shafts of the Royal Aftermeria Mines themselves, along with the deep gouges that the Scars Metallis have left in the land as well. And you guys find yourself, you are at this very moment passing in the river bend between the two largest chasms on either side of you. You see to the left and right of you these deep, you can still see the striations from the deep gouging claw marks of these gigantic dragons ripping earth and stone out of the ground around you. If you like cast your eyes down and you look down, you can see the chasms go easily 300, 400 feet down into the rock, because they were down into the earth, because these were the natural starting points for the mines to begin. Everybody please roll me a perception check as the boat begins to pull in and start preparations for docking.
Put up my Theo dice.
14.
14?
17.
17.
I want my Theo dice. I'll roll this one. This is a D12. I apologize for friends and family and loved ones. Here is the D20.
Watch her roll a 12.
I did not. I rolled.
Damn it.
It was perception.
Yes.
Okay, so I did with my +3. I did in fact roll a 12.
Hell yeah. It was a simple 10 DC. All of you notice there is like a sort of shimmering kaleidoscopic rainbow haze in the air as you approach the mines, and you can see as like the mine shaft elevators start pulling up and like dust sort of flies off of them. You watch as the dust flies into the air. It remains like a white, chalky, brownish, dusty color momentarily before immediately switching into this sort of shimmery, ethereal sort of coloring. You guys would all recognize this as Aftermeria dust, and what happens when it reacts to anything that has come in contact with magic. So Felix and Finian, you would both be aware of this because you are technically magic users. Theo, roll me an Arcana check with advantage, because you would probably be aware of this.
Good thing I had advantage. That's not much better at all.
Hannah doesn't know shit.
I don't know shit. I lost my smart. 8.
8.
Ah,
Okay, so then
smart anymore. I'm just
you-
strong and very
you-
sexy.
you're just kind of just very much like, ooh, really pretty. Like it's gorgeous. Like it's like watching like ironically enough, based on what we were talking about earlier, like when sunlight hits stained glass, it's like that. It's like the entire ground is dappled in this iridescent rainbow effect, because this cloud of dust almost forms like, again, like all dust does, it floats into the air.
are you looking for the word prismatic?
Prismatic, there we go. That was what word I was looking for. It's a very prismatic effect, and because dust naturally floats into the air and will hang there for a lot longer than it's actually visible, it's this strange effect of where you can see like literally every fleck of dust coming out of the mines at all moments of the day. It's almost formed like a dome of this prismatic iridescent haze around this entire like area of the mines. For Felix and Finian, both of you are aware of how Aftermeria functions, because Finian, you've used it in your studies. Very controlled, but you've used it before. And Felix, you're just aware of it because, you know, magic users have to be aware of these sorts of things. Aftermeria, very specifically, when found in the ground, like if you find, you might dig underground for years and be in a motherlode of Aftermeria. But until it has been exposed to some sort of magic, it is entirely dormant. So this is why this sort of effect occurs, because of the war with the dragons and the formation of Amoth and everything that has occurred within the world. not unlike when we dropped the nuclear bombs on Japan, everything in the world became a little bit more radioactive. When the meteor hit and blew up the world seed that then created Aftermeria, everything is now magical above ground. Like, you can't really have the source of all magic explode and then not have fallout from that. So, that is
So
one of
it's
the
kind of
things.
like if the ground was radiated, but instead of being like harmful radiation, it's like radiated in like a film of
magic.
almost magic.
Well, it's also one of the reasons why, for example, the Lifeblood Basin down south, that's why it's so fertile of farmland, not only from the fire of the dragon fire and the ash there that basically turned it into volcanic soil from the amount of flame, but also from the magic of just the natural magical properties that the entire world resonates at all points in time.
It's like
That's
blood.
kick-ass.
It's like blood. When blood, you know how blood's blue when it has like
No oxygen. Yeah.
no oxygen. So when you isn't that like the reason
It's
why
not blue.
What color is it?
It's still red.
But why does it look blue in my skin?
That's different veins.
Diffracting light, and it's the vein itself. It's not the blood.
So blood is always bread?
It's
Yeah.
just different shades of red.
The
Yeah.
blood is bread.
It did
I
sound
was-
like you said bread.
Yeah.
No, we're not going back into Catholicism here.
So we've just been lied to our whole lives?
That
Blue
happens
blood?
a lot, Hannah.
No,
Like, you'd
blood
be
is blue when
surprised.
it's in your body when it becomes oxidized. So when it literally
what-
Yeah.
Morgan was just saying that was a
It's
that's a
never
lie.
actually blue. The blood itself is not blue. Red blood cells are always red.
Is it just
The-
the veins themselves then?
Yeah. The magic school
Okay.
bus lied to us, unfortunately. Miss Frizzle is not a
Bitches.
Miss Frizzle is not a trusted source. God damn it.
Miss Frizzle, why?
That bitch lied to us. She took us to the fucking moon and lied. How dare she?
Didn't she let one of her students basically got killed on the moon because he took his helmet off?
A lot of her students died. We're gonna gloss over that point. She was a
But-
great teacher.
They're fine in the end.
Gloss
Well,
over
then they
that
brought him
point.
back to Earth and it's fine. They brought him back to Earth and he was fine or
They
something.
never stayed dead, and that is the only rule for murder. Anyway, the boat docks. The boat docks, and you guys are able to step off. Several other ships are there unloading supplies. The crew takes time to unload the supplies and things like that. Captain comes up to all of you and say, "Well, I know we were only commissioned to take you lot here. We're gonna be sticking around for, I won't say about a week and a half, picking up on new supplies, things like that. So, I understand this is we'll just transport to a job for you lot. But if you're wrapped up within a week and a half, we'd be happy to take you back as well."
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. It's funny because I'm trying to act like they've been on this boat for months.
A month. Oh, 2
2
months.
months.
2 months. Actually, yeah, 2 months. Well, if you need to find us, anywhere there's a tavern or a place to lay our heads that's not the ship, well, we'll be out and about. I gotta say, you lot, congratulations. You are, thus far, least destructive lot of transportees I've had to deal with in about a year, so good on you. Yeah, last group stole an entire...
Normally, I guess, question, what would be an example of
So
being
last
destructive?
guy, all right. So last guy I had to transport with me. It was very clear he was a little off his rocker. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that like a series of like long-standing, long-running plays? It's Always Bright in Marishane.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
If you remember that, remember the character who had like the big conspiracy wall? So I was basically transporting a real life version of him, and he wrote all over the side of me ship to the point where, and in his words, these are important research notes, and I cannot be parted from them. So he took the whole side of me ship, and I had to replace that. So the fact that you are not taking the side of me ship is already a benefit.
How did how did he take the entire side of your ship? How do you do
So-
that?
So he
What?
points to the side of the ship, and you notice that like there's a like 18 by 20 foot section of like very fresh wood, like very clearly grafted into the side of the ship just above the water line. It's like I took that. He wrote all over the inside of the ship walls some crazy theory about extraterrestrial interdimensional bullshit. I didn't understand half of what he was fucking saying, but it was very important, and he didn't want to write the notes anywhere else, so he took it with him. I mean, he paid for it. He had to pay for it. It was a lot of fucking money, and took us out of commission for about a month and a half. But yeah, there it is.
Asked and answered.
All right. Noted.
All
All right. Cool.
It- Yeah.
Finn just broke. Finn's like, I could have been doing that the whole time? I've been writing in a journal like a plebeian?
right?
You guys shake the hands. You guys shake the hands of the captain. You guys step off the ship, gather your things, and all of you take a deep breath, and it's like, all right, time to go to work. And that is where we will end our episode for today. Thank you all for joining us for another episode of Dances with Dice. Please follow us on all social media channels at Dances with Dice. And when you use the hashtag DWDcast or DWDart, we will use you as a named NPC on the show. Thank you so much, and join us every single Tuesday for new episodes of Dances with Dice.
Uneventful.